I'm going to show you a very unorthodox way to baste down your quilts. I use a regular stitch to baste my quilts, and when I do, you can see I'm doing this gentle serpentine motion. That's because if for any reason I'm stretching my quilt top fabric, it'll relax back after I've stitched it. When I'm doing a double layer of batting like this, I like to use my ruler to push the fabric as close to the edge as possible to minimize any puckering that can happen quilting close to those edges when I get into the nitty-gritty of custom quilting. This kind of helps me to stretch my quilt top as far up and over the puffy layers of fabric as possible. You can see I'm using my awesome handled stunning straight edge ruler off boldnotionquilting.com to help me push and get that fabric as flat as possible. I also will kind of work my way off the edge of the quilt and back onto the edge of the quilt if for some reason I'm worried that my fabric is going to tuck or pucker as I'm doing the pushing and the quilting. You will want to baste in that 1/4 inch area where you plan to bind it later. It's okay to go off the edge of the quilt, but try not to go farther than 1/4 inch in. Typically, I start these from the top edge, center going left and center going right, and then I'll baste from the bottom of my quiltable edge and go up, and the bottom of my quiltable edge and go up. Here you can see my area is very square and very flat, and so it's easy for me to go ahead and baste just all the way around and catch that without dealing with any tucks or puckers. Because I'm dealing with such a high loft batting, I'm then going to go back and I'm going to quilt down the 1/2 inch closest to my quiltable edge. 1, so that my ruler doesn't catch on it, but 2, so that it doesn't actually accidentally get folded over and quilted onto my quilt top as I'm quilting. And you can see how difficult it is for my foot to kind of navigate around that. If for some reason I were to get to the edge of my quilt and I needed to quilt something, I would be worried that it could catch. You can see on the left side of the screen, it is standing straight up from being quilted in my binding, and so I'm doing this to prevent that from standing up and being in my way. I typically will do this until I've reached the entirety of the quilt. Be sure to check out the Bold Motion Quilting YouTube channel for more tips, tricks, and tools of the trade for all your free motion quilting needs. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Take care and happy quilting, y'all. Bye!